Okay, so I wanted to make this video as a complete guide to disassemble the Soviet pattern RPK drum magazine, because in particular I've noticed that every other disassembly video that I've seen, which there might be some out there that do it correctly, prove me wrong, I've never seen them disassemble this front part, so we'll get to that. You only need two tools. You will need not even necessarily a screwdriver, but just something to jam into a hole. For the rear section, which is the main portion of the magazine, you could literally just use the nose of a bullet and it would work just fine. So, pardon me for doing this one-handed, but you're going to jam your screwdriver in, and then you're going to rotate that nut. Let me see if I can do it like this, actually. I'm learning how to do this with two hands on the fly. So that's your back panel off. In order to remove the spring assembly, you're going to have to get that follower out and let it unrotate itself. Me personally, when I assemble it back in, I will place the cog, I guess you want to call it, with that peg in that corner of orientation, and then I will wind it until it is back in that corner after I insert the follower. So if I were to wind this one rotation and put the follower back in, I would wind it about that far so that I can put the follower back in, and once the follower is back in, it will be resting at that orientation with it in the roughly 5 o'clock position. Anyway, so let's go some more. So what we're going to do to take this part down is we're going to, again, press this bit down, and then we're going to rotate that teeny tiny lever right there up. Okay? And after that, the cog assembly just slides out. Easy peasy. This is the portion that just about everybody has covered. Here's the portion that I have not personally seen anyone else cover, and I'm really not sure why, because it should be obvious. So, you're going to take a smaller rod, whatever you're going to use, and it's literally the same process. There's just a smaller hole, so you're going to jam it in there, and you're going to press down, and then rotate the nut so that you unlock it. Just like that. And you can pull this out. There you go. And then you can go clean. That's your double-ended spring assembly. On the other end, it's pushing against the other retainer lug, I guess you could call it. And all you really need to know to reassemble this portion is there is a little peg on this rotational spring right there. You're going to feed it into that hole, and once you place your detensioning lever back over it, it'll probably be pointed in the 7 o'clock position or so. You're going to wind it counterclockwise until it's roughly in the 1 to 2 o'clock position. Press down, which will seat it in place, and then just ease it back. And if when you ease it back, it nestles itself in the 2 o'clock orientation roughly, you know you're good, and you can just take the retainer nut and pop it back on. And that, I guess technically with the exception of this bit, which you, to my knowledge, Yeah, you can't take that out. Um, that's the complete process. There you go.